100% assignment. It's sort of equivalent to every homework you are doing on a weekly basis. Okay? Last year, this assignment was an individual assignment. And the feedback that we got was, this is too much. And so we made it into a group assignment. Okay? So that's why feedback is really important. And in about 2 weeks, the student or the subject experience surveys will be out. Every time I see you, I'll be talking to you about it until you're sick of it. But it's very important that you guys fill it out, because that's the only way we can improve the subject. Okay? So expect me to talk a lot about it. Anyway, let's go through this line by line. So it's an assignment about investigating the materials and structures of the building we're in. Okay? So it's bringing everything we've learned about materials and structures and trying to understand the building in terms of that material. So this assignment is to be taken by 2 or 3, so groups of 2 or 3. I had someone on this table say they don't have a group. Is that you? Okay. Are there any groups, or are there any other people who don't have a group yet? Is there a group that is only made up of 2? You too? Is it okay for your friend to join in?
Yes.
Yeah? Can you speak with them later on? Does anyone have another concern about groups? We're good? Okay. So, so the assignment shouldn't exceed 20 pages. And I can see there's a video camera. Are you recording this?
Yeah.
That's fine, but could you share it with everyone if you're
Okay.
That's a competitive advantage you shouldn't have alone. So perhaps share it with everyone.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
All right, so it shouldn't be more than 20 pages. And I say 20 and I heard gasps. Most of it will be drawings, so don't worry. There isn't too much content here, okay? Use Times New Roman, size 11. It's due at the start of the last lecture. Okay, so week 12 lecture, Tuesday morning, 9 a.m. At the start of the lecture, you hand it in, and you sit down for the exam revision. Okay, just to make sure everyone comes to the exam revision lecture. All right. There's 3 parts. The first part is about the Melbourne School of Design as a whole. Okay, question 1, present an introduction that provides a general description of the building. Talk about the building. What is special about it? And you have to talk about it in terms of its structural system. What sort of structural system is it? Is it a building made up of steel? Or is it a building made up of reinforced concrete? Or is it a building made up of timber? Just talk about it, as if you're talking to your friend about the building. Okay? I should say that this assignment is to be presented in a report format. I don't want to see question 1, this, question 2, that. It should be presented as one report where you cover all of these aspects, maybe in the same sort of chronological order that's specified here, but it should be one report. I'll let you choose your outcome, but you should cover everything over it. Okay? All right, 2, provide 2 structural top view drawings. Okay, so for the basement and for the ground floor, I'd like you to draw a floor plan. It doesn't have to be fancy, it doesn't have to be using AutoCAD, you can do it by hand. I don't care how fancy it looks. As long as it shows some measurements and it shows the structural components. I want to see where the columns are and where the beams are. And once you do that, your plan should show the tributary area for each of them. Remember that exercise we did where we had a floor plan and every column was sort of highlighted around it? This is the area that is responsible for, the column is responsible for. I'd like something like that. Okay? So it's a bird's eye view of the structural floor plan. Any questions on that? If you think it is too detailed to have the tributary area for both the columns and the beams in one plan, do 2. One for the tributary area of the columns one for the tributary area for the beams. Okay? You decide. But I'd like to see the structural layout for the ground floor and for the basement. Pretty simple, yeah? Okay, and you need to identify the critical beam and column. What does that mean? It means the worst case column. The column that has the biggest tributary area. Which one of these columns should we be worried about? Because if that column has a design that's okay, if all the columns have the same design, then they'll all be okay. That's a definition of a critical column, the worst case column, and the worst case. And it's a matter of just pointing to it, okay? You don't need to do calculations. It's just drawing and saying, I think this is the critical column, and that's the critical beam. This is the one that we should be focusing on, okay? It's sort of taking a building and looking at it as a structural engineer. Okay, we're done with 1 and 2. 3, provide two structural longitudinal sections. That looks something like that. It's as if it's a cross-section through the building height. And I want you to talk about the gravity loads. How do the loads from this floor here